If anybody thought the whole Harry-and-Meghan saga had wrapped up its last messy chapter, well then, buckle up, because this new twist is on a whole other friggin' level. According to multiple palace sources, and yes, the ones who usually keep things locked up tighter than the crown jewels, Meghan's grip on Harry is slipping, and not slowly either. You know, for years, the story has been the same. Harry, the runaway prince, choosing love, freedom, California sunshine, and Netflix over tradition, duty, and that chilly royal glare. Meghan, the woman at the center of the biggest royal shakeup since Edward VIII said peace out for Wallace Simpson. Now together, they were the couple who dared challenge the palace machine and seemed completely inseparable while doing it. But now, insiders are hinting that the dynamic has shifted dramatically. The fallout is happening in real time and it's messier than anyone expected, so let's peel this open.
I can't change. I am who I am. I am part of what I'm part of, and I can never escape that. My circumstances will always be the same.
So there are whispers, a storyline that feels straight out of a prestige drama. Harry's reportedly pulling away, not in a storming out of the mansion with his suitcase way, but in a quieter, more symbolic way. The kind that stings a lot more. The kind that signals something deep beneath the polished Instagram posts and curated photo ops is a little off. And here's the kicker. The palace is watching closely. They always do. But insiders say this time, the Windsor smells something in the air. A shift, a change in tone, a weakening. And they're paying attention because it may just redefine everything about Meghan and Harry's position, public image, and future influence. Because, you know, despite everything, the interviews, the book, the docuseries, the dramatic exit, Harry still had one thing, his unwavering attachment to Meghan. That was the glue for the brand, the narrative, the entire sucks-ass identity. But now it's cracked, and trust me, the palace doesn't miss cracks. Reports claim that Harry has been making more solo moves behind the scenes, reconnecting with certain individuals he once froze out, revisiting causes that he used to champion independently, and even reconsidering decisions he once publicly attributed to supporting Meghan. Now, for years, critics have labeled him as being under Meghan's spell, controlled, guided, shielded, or whatever royal tabloid euphemism they could string together for a couple of pounds. And the Sussex supporters would counter with, he's finally free, finally choosing his own path, oh my god, finally living his truth.
But basically what's happened, Harry, is he's been a bit lost, hasn't he, in America? He's playing second fiddle to everybody's favourite megalomaniac.
Slay King. But this whole new develop doesn't really fit either of these narratives. See, it's not Harry turning tail and running back to the palace with roses and apologies. It's also not Meghan dragging him across another Hollywood deal by the ear. See, this is something different. Some insiders describe it as Harry reclaiming airspace. Now others say that he's waking up. Now one especially dramatic source called it the unraveling. But the general tone is the same. Harry is asserting himself, and that shift is sending shockwaves. Not just in, Matacito, but all the way back in London. Especially because Meghan reportedly didn't see this one coming. Let's be clear, whether you love them or you hate the sucksasses, there's no denying that Meghan is an incredibly strategic figure. She's kinda smart, media savvy, she's image aware, and she understands branding like the best of them. She's built entire arcs around symbolism, stepping away from the monarchy, building their own empire, reshaping narratives. But strategy only works when variables behave. And right now, the biggest variable, Mr. Harry, seems to be wandering off script something hard. According to sources, he's been increasingly nostalgic, thinking about family ties, missing certain relationships, realizing that some battles he fought may not have been worth the fallout. And perhaps most significantly, Harry is said to be exhausted. tired of the constant public firefighting, tired of the pressure to perform the us versus them storyline, tired of living in a tension bubble.
And I think that it's really quite sad that I won't be able to show, my children my homeland.
And man, honestly, some part of you's just gotta feel a little sorry for the guy. Now, Meghan is reportedly frustrated because if Harry pivots even slightly, the entire Sussex dynamic shifts. You remove the tension, you remove some relevance. You soften the conflict, you soften the narrative. You change Harry's footing, and suddenly Meghan's influence looks a lot different. See, that's the thing about power. It rarely disappears in one dramatic explosion. It leaks, slowly, silently, like water slipping out underneath a closed door. And the palace, man, they're loving it. Not because they want the couple to suffer, despite what tabloids want you to believe, but because this is the first sign in years that Harry isn't fully orbiting around Meghan's gravitational pull anymore. A senior insider reportedly described it this way: if Harry softens, the walls between him and the family soften. That changes everything. Everything. The public narrative, the media posture, the long-term royal strategy, the future of the monarchy's relationship with America, the entire Sussex brand.
And Harry's made it very clear he wants to reunite with his father. He says, look, his focus has got to be on Charles, who has...
When the couple stepped down, their influence came as a duo. The rebellious prince and the outspoken duchess. Now, if that unity shifts, the power balance shifts. And palace observers claim this moment feels eerily similar to a familiar royal pattern. The institution stays still, patiently, stoically, and waits. People come and go, crises spike and melt, but the monarchy has one superpower: longevity. It outlives drama, which means Harry drifting even slightly back toward the royal fold, even emotionally, is a colossal symbolic shift. And this isn't the kind of story Meghan can control with a podcast, a series, or a speech, because it isn't happening out loud, it's happening internally.
And we had that cringe-worthy thing, you might remember, which I watched just to make you happy, the Meghan Christmas special. And poor old Harry, he was wheeled out yet again. And just to make sure he suffered as much as she possibly could, they made a salad with all of the worst things, the things that Harry really...
Insiders claim she's pushing for more independence as a brand duo. More projects, more visibility, more red carpet moments, more Hollywood partnerships. She wants momentum, she wants presence, she wants to continue shaping their legacy from the outside. Meanwhile, Harry reportedly wants normalcy, some distance from the spotlight and more time doing things that aren't PR orchestrated. Two visions, very different, and the tension between them is raising eyebrows everywhere, especially because the question lingering in the background is huge. What happens to the Sussex empire if Harry steps back? Because, their entire public identity revolves around Harry and Meghan. Not Harry, not Meghan, but the joint brand. So let's zoom out, because this isn't just about a couple arguing over strategy, this is about identity. Harry left the palace not just physically, but symbolically. He built a new life, a new image, a new purpose, but identity is a little complicated. You can escape a place, you can escape a system, but escaping your roots, that's quite a bit harder.
I miss the UK. I miss parts of the UK, of course I do.
And that's why Meghan is concerned, because the one thing she never planned for was Harry changing direction, because small shifts become big shifts, and big shifts become fallout. The million-dollar question: does this mean a breakup, a separation, a royal reconciliation, a Sussex rebrand? Hard to say. That's not the story here. This isn't a marriage breakdown, it's a dynamic breakdown, a change in power, a change in influence, a change in alignment. But this might be the turning point no one expected. The moment the unstoppable Sussex force hits the immovable royal object. And trust me, this story is just beginning.